Hey YouTube, Justin here, aka Demonic Sweaters. I'm just popping on here real quick in the morning because I did not expect a couple of things, and I just wanted to talk about them here real quick. Number one, I did not expect my most recent video about restoring the $100 drum set that I bought on Craigslist to blow up the way it has. That's the most views I've gotten on a video in a long time without even really thinking about it. It just sort of happened. Another thing that I was very shocked about was how many people commented on the fact that I mentioned in the video that I do not like Evans Emads for the bass drum. Let me go over to the page here and let me show you what I'm talking about. So here we have, a lot of people just commented basically saying the same thing. They're like, you don't like Emads? How do you not like Emads? And all this stuff. I'll tell you why here in a second. It's basically what I said in the comments. I just think they sound like a wet turd. I just don't like them. They are very just weird and squishy sounding. I've never been a fan. I love Evans heads usually. The Evans G1 coated and G2 coated are two of my favorite heads. They're great on the snare drum. I just don't like the Emad. This leads me to an interesting phenomena that I've noticed on YouTube. That is, if you like something or don't like something that somebody else likes, they have this thing where they get like personally offended if you don't like, if I don't like the same bass drum head that somebody watching the video likes, then for some reason they get offended by that. I don't quite understand what that's about. People are telling me, oh, just tune it differently, take the foam ring out. I'm not going to do that. I just don't like them. I like a single ply head on a big kick drum. If I'm playing a little kick drum, I have a totally different approach. But on a bigger kick drum, I like a single ply head with no built-in muffling. I just do not like that stuff at all. I put a pillow in the bass drum. It's the old school technique. It's very simple. Single ply head with a pillow. I just think nothing sounds better than that. And also, one of the reasons why is I record a lot. And a lot of my tuning and my setup, I tailor towards recording because, after recording for many, many years, I started doing home recording in 1995. I've been doing it a very long time. And you realize, over time, what you like and what sounds good to you. I like to have a nice defined bass drum sound. I like to be able to hear it in my mix. And something like an Emad, it sounds too, I don't know, they have this squishiness to them. I don't know how else to describe it other than that. And it's also the feel. I don't like the feel of that head. And if you put a pillow in there to muffle it with the built-in muffle ring that's already on there, it's just kind of overkill. You don't need that. I don't like the way the muffle ring sounds, so I'm not going to use that. I'm not going to take it out. Why would I buy the head to begin with if I don't like the muffle ring? Because that's the whole, selling point of that particular drum head. I just think it's, for me, it's just not something I like. So back on what I was saying, since I go for recording, there's something with drums that I think, I'm not trying to insult anybody here, but inexperienced drummers do not realize that the sound you hear when you're sitting behind the drum set isn't really the sound that the drums are making. And what that means is there's really a bunch of different sounds that are coming from the drums. You have the drum sounds in a live setting, say if you're playing live, there's a sound you hear when you're playing the drums, but there's also the sound that the audience hears, which is quite different than the sound that you're hearing behind the kit. Another thing that's very different is the sound that the microphones are hearing. I tune and set up my drums basically thinking about how they're going to record. And over time, there's certain things that I realized with recording. I don't like a lot of resonance on my bass drum. And if you have an Emad, even though it does have that muffle ring in there, there's still a resonance. The reason why I don't like resonance on my bass drum is because it's just harder to mix. Yes, you can get kind of cool sounds that way sometimes, depending on what you're doing. There's older recordings I did where I was, using a more resonant sounding bass drum. And I was, I'm pretty happy with what I was able to achieve, but it was very difficult to get it to sit in the mix the way I like. For me, I don't really care if the bass drum resonates. I like more of a, kind of a thuddy, just bassy, but with a lot of attack bass drum that you can hear. And I want to feel it. I want to feel it in my chest. And the best way I'm able to achieve that is by using a single ply head with a pillow inside. Now, that's different. Like I said, if it's on a smaller kick, I use something totally different. What I found to work best for me on smaller kick drums, like 18-inch or smaller, is the Evans hydraulic, which is a 2-ply head on the batter, and then I do not port the front, and then I still do a little muffling inside. The reason why I don't port the front is because when you port a very small bass drum, and I'm talking about 18s to 14s especially, when you port that bass drum, you lose a lot of the low end. On a bigger kick drum, it doesn't really matter that much, but on those little bass drums, it actually matters quite a bit. And what's really cool about the Tama club jams, when they're very little, you still get a lot of attack because it is such a little drum. Having the port or no port on the head gives you more low end, and then if you're using a thicker, very thick head like an Evans hydraulic, you can tune that head very low. You don't have to tighten it up very much at all. And that's what I found to work best on smaller bass drums. Larger bass drums, like I said, I like a single ply with a pillow and a ported batter head. Single plies on both. That's just what I like. You don't have to like it. That's totally fine. Not everybody likes the same stuff. I don't like Emads, but you are perfectly allowed to like Emads if you want. But I don't know. Maybe you want to try doing what I suggested here. Maybe you'll like it more. Just a thought. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell icon, thumbs up, all that stuff. See you guys later.